E-readers are getting fast, and this is the fastest possible unit on the market in terms of on-paper specs. This is the Bigme Inknote X Color, and this means business. The biggest selling point? The CPU, with a MediaTek Dimensity 900 octa-core 2.4 GHz processor with 6 gigs of RAM. Let's go through the checklist. Can you install your own apps? Yes. Does it have Google Play? Yes. Does it have note-taking? Yes. What type of device is this? This is an eNote. An eNote is defined as typically a large screen device that employs note-taking capabilities via stylus, either Wacom or active capacitive or other. This unit retails for $767 US. Let's get into the review. Starting things off with the build of this unit, it is pretty much the same thing they've been doing with the past however many units from Bigme, but they have pulled stylings from their fighter brand. They're actually going with a gunmetal gray on black bezel, which is more evident of Goyue, their fighter brand that is a little bit more economically priced, but they're bringing it over to the Bigme unit. Outside of that, it's pretty much business as usual. You got the 4 microphones up top, the pen charging on the side, you have dual speakers right there, you have a fingerprint unlock biometric scan, and at the bottom you have an SD card along with a USB-C. This thing is absolutely fully loaded all the way down to a front camera and an AI rear camera with flash package. In this review, we're not even going to focus on ebooks or manga because this is such a far departure away from a traditional e-reader. It's not even funny. It's in a different class. This is a hyper capable tablet with an e-paper screen. So we're going to focus on note-taking, color content, and videos because this is sporting some of the fastest refresh as they have advertised to date. So if you swipe the top down, you'll get EINK Center, global handwriting, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, process management, everything you would expect out of a tablet. You also get different glow lights. You can do warm light, you can do cool light, and you can do a combination of both. I like lights out and I like other, but I don't like these presets because they're just arbitrary presets. They're 15 and 0, they would be 10 and 0 or 10 and 15. So there's not really any reason for those to exist other than to just have them decide that they're there. Also, if you go over here, you have settings. Bigme settings are extensive. You have this initial menu here and the sub menu. In fact, it goes to a tertiary screen. If you see an additional arrow, it'll go even further. This has 6 gigs of RAM. It's got 128 gigs on board, only 100 available, but that's plenty. And it's running Android 13, which is the latest possible version of Android in the world for e-paper. You also get things like font size, language menu management, gesture settings, and rotation. Gesture settings, the sky's the limit. You have swipe up, swipe down, left, right, back. You have device password, and of course this comes with Google Play right out of the box. So if you go to the App Center, you will see Google Play is already right front and center. You don't have to do any backdoor entries. Last thing before we get fully going here is your EINK Center. This is where all your modes are going to be and everything you can change from here. You have default, magazine, comic, and video. These are set up accordingly. So if you go to video, it's going to be in extreme mode and everything's going to be locked out. Can't change any of that. The only thing you can change is the full refresh frequency, although you don't need to worry about that because if you go over to custom, you have auto clean. Auto clean is an anti-ghosting AI algorithm. So what they have done is they've actually implemented some AI into the operating system that allows for ghosting to be heavily cut down on. You also have anti-shake, which is good for videos. We'll show you that in a bit. You have HD 256, Regal, Normal, Fast, Extreme. It just goes from slowest to fastest. Your contrast settings, everything else is down there. You can change everything as long as you are in custom. If you want just a default experience, it's going to be auto clean on, anti-shake off, normal, and these settings as you see right here. Aside from Dasung, who doesn't technically make eNotes, this is probably as fast as you're going to see latency. This is really, really quick. It's also very accurate and it looks realistic as well. You can change your line width, you can change your line color, you can change your brush stroke and the different types of pens, ball pen, brush, etc. If we go to a big pen like this, we'll go to brush, we'll do red, and we'll do full blast, so you can at least see the brush strokes from there. This is a very, very good experience. You'll notice we're using an Amazon pen, but they use the exact same tips as Bigme, so that's splitting hairs. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's go over to something else like a light blue before we move on, and you can see that It is extremely quick, something you do not get on Galley or the Gallery 3 devices because it just simply cannot get there, but Kaleido can. You can also do area erase, full erase, etc. You can move this floating thing around if you'd like as well, and you can cancel that out via the toolbar there. The lasso tool is very useful as well. You can get an area like that. You can copy, paste, cut, etc. Put it on a different page, anything you want. You also have canvas expansion, so you can do 1x1, 2x1, 1x2, etc. This increases the amount of canvas that you don't have into canvas you do have. So if you do 1x2, for example, you're able to slide it up and down and explore further than what the screen is able to actually show you. You also have layer, and you can create up to 5 layers, including the template layer, which actually gives you 6 total. Also, one of the best features is share export. So not only can you share it via PDF, PNG, or other, you can transfer it into a QR code so someone can scan it and get your image. If you go to other, it's going to utilize the apps that are on board like Gmail, etc., and you can share to any one of those. Scan document is very useful. All you would do is get a document. It doesn't matter what language either, because it'll read it and it'll transcribe it. All you do is take a photo of that, click OCR, and from there it's going to recognize the text, and you can actually start typing in line. Not only that, you can copy, cut, share, paste, or even export after you're done. Then you can change it into PDF or TXT. From there, it'll save it to your storage, click on view, and you have the exact thing you just transcribed. Looking at the color, this is going to look a little bit different based on everyone's experiences. Why is that? With Kaleido 3, you must have the glow light on. We've been saying this since the early days of Kaleido and color in general in 2019 with the iReader C6. A lot of people turn everything off and it just doesn't look that great. You have to have the glow light on to a little bit of a degree to take the edge off and just let those colors shine. People say, oh, you have the glow light on. Well, that's not a negative. That's part of the process. It needs to really utilize that glow light gel layer in conjunction with the color array filter in order to give you a good experience. Now, there's a ton of ways you can optimize this. You can just do magazine, comic, and video, which we showed you at the top of the hour, or you can go custom. Custom's going to allow you to change your contrast, your vivid enhancement, and your color brightness, and it's all going to look different. If you tap the center on a photo app, you get some very light options like share and more, but for the most part it's just a passive application, things like Xreader, things like Gallery, etc. If you want, you can obviously go over to Google Play and download any picture gallery software you'd like, but this is just an overall look at the color experience on a Kaleido 3 unit. You will notice a little bit of a shadow around the bezel, and this is because the screen is a little bit further away on flush screen and bezels rather than sunken screen and bezels. There is just simply more things in front of the screen and your eyes. Companies like Kobo with Kaleido 3, they put the color array filter stack at the very top of the stack of everything, where the glow light layer, the touch digitizer, etc. Whereas some of these traditional older units, older all things considered, put the color array filter a little bit further down, so the colors don't look quite as good as the later models do, because this is pretty much a carryover in terms of the Kaleido 3 screen in a different body.
It's called the Suzuki MR Wagon. This is a car that sneaks under the radar a little bit. It's a K car, and to bring you up to speed on what that means is that you're restricted in certain sizes, weight, and engine display.
Audio and video on this is extraordinarily high quality. In terms of smoothness, a lot of their things that they've done to the UI optimization, the anti-ghosting, the anti-shaking, the anti-pixelation, this is pretty close to as good as we've seen videos look. Maybe not the quickest, but just the overall package, the vibrancy, the quality, how smooth it is, the speed of it all the metrics compiled together. This is looking like the best overall real-world usable video we have seen to date. It is very high quality, it is very stable, and the implementations they've added in the E-Ink Center with the add-on toggles with anti-shake and auto clean really do give you that flexibility to change it to the way you want it to look like. And of course they have a bunch of other things as well, like AI accompaniments and stuff like that. You can go to ChatGPT, you can have them make a composition based off of an outline, an essay, chats, or even drawings, and it'll just start creations for you. There really is no limits when it comes to AI, and they do put a lot in here for you. You have translation, assistance, and online TTS. All of these are AI driven, as well as the camera, which we showed you a little bit earlier on. If there's something here you don't like, you can literally long press it and uninstall it. If there's something here you need that you don't have, just go to Google Play and download it. Incredibly fast, Google Play on board, and tons of AI support make this a very high quality workflow solution e-paper device. However, it's not cheap, coming in at nearly $770 US. The battery has more strain on it than ever, and the company has been exhibiting the quickest turnover of products more than any other brand in the industry. In the end, you cannot doubt the specs, processing power, and overall limitless capabilities of a unit as fully loaded as this one. Bigme continues to push the boundaries of what e-paper can do, and this latest X color release is certainly pushing e-paper to its absolute limits.